What is going on in my Houston Texans family? Today was a big day across the NFL as all 32 teams get ready for the NFL season as they trim their roster down to 53. Now we have the initial 53-man roster here. We are going to talk about it, breaking down. But my name is Mr. 713. This is the 713 Houston Sportcast where I drop daily Houston Texans content. So please make sure you guys are following me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok for the latest Houston Texans news, rumors, and updates. Now let's first start with the quarterbacks. No surprise, CJ Stroud made the team. Breaking news. Davis Mills made the team. No surprise there. This might be his last year as a backup for the Houston Texans. And as I am doing this video, shout out to Texans County, who I was pulling from on his Instagram page. The Houston Texans themselves just right now have dropped their initial 53-man roster. So let's go ahead. We started off with the quarterbacks. We'll continue with there. CJ Stroud, Davis Mills, and rookie Graham Mertz. I'm surprised that Graham Mertz initially made the 53-man roster. I thought he might have been a practice squad player, but nonetheless, the rookie looked good in training camp, and he looked good that last preseason game against the Detroit Lions where he was absolutely dealing. Your running backs, Nick Chubb, Woody Marks, Damian Pierce, Daria Gumbawale, and British Brooks. Those are your running backs for the Houston Texans as of right now. The biggest surprise, I think, is Damian Pierce, but it's also not a surprise with the recent news to Joe Mixon, who was going to miss the first 4 weeks of the season at least. I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about Damian Pierce. A lot of fans feel like he doesn't deserve to be on the 53-man. I will say, though, if he was cut, he probably would have been on another team. With that being said, Damian Pierce, number 31, once again makes the Houston Texans 53-man roster. Your wide receivers, no surprise here. Nico Collins, Christian Kirk, Braxton Berrios, Xavier Hutchinson, Jaden Higgins, Jalen Noel, and Justin Watson. So the guys that we talked about heading into training camp, they're the ones who are coming out of training camp. The biggest question mark was John Mechie, and we know what happened. Gets traded to the Philadelphia Eagles. Speaking of the Philadelphia Eagles, they released Kenyon Green. It did not work out. I wish him the very best, even though his dad does not like me or this channel at all. But those are your wide receivers for the Houston Texans as of right now. Your tight ends. This is where I'm scratching my head. You're only carrying two. Dalton Schultz, Cade Stover. No Harrison Bryant, who the Houston Texans got in the John Mechie trade. And no Luke Lachey, who the Houston Texans selected late in the 7th round. Now, they did say, though, and by they, I mean Aaron Wilson, did say that the Houston Texans are hoping he clears waivers and he's someone they would want on their practice squad. But this means that the Houston Texans are definitely out there looking for a tight end number 3. I have yet to see who was available on the street, but be on the lookout for the Houston Texans making a move at tight end. Offensive line, this is one we're all waiting for. This is one we all wanted to see. Jared Patterson, Blake Fisher, Jake Andrews, Ed Ingram, Drew Scruggs, Titus Howard, Laken Tomlinson, Ariante Ursery, and Cam Robinson. Now, I saved Cam Robinson for last because it was reported by Shefty, I believe, that the Houston Texans were looking at the possibility of maybe trading Cam Robinson, so having Ariante Ursery be the team's starting left tackle as early as week 1. Now, I don't want them to trade Cam Robinson right now. I would rather keep him. I would still want him to try to be the starting left tackle for this team. I do love Ariante Ursher. I think he has a bright future ahead of him. But, I'm kind of afraid we might be throwing him to the wolves as early as week 1. I'd rather be, the left tackle battle be a fight that he's supposed to win later on, mid-season, trade deadline. With that being said, another news regarding the Houston Texans offensive line, Trent Brown. Trent Brown, who we found out was recovering nicely from his injury, was released by the team, but the plan is for him to clear waivers and be on the Houston Texans practice squad and work his way back to health. Now, we all love Trent Brown. We know he's here not to give you anything on the field, but to be a mentor and a leader in that O-line room. But that is initially your offense for the Houston Texans. Moving to the defensive side, let's go to the D-line. Will Anderson Jr., Darrell Taylor, Danielle Hunter, Tommy Togai, shout out to him, Sheldon Rankins, Folorenzo Fatukasi, Dylan Horton, Mario Edwards Jr., Tim Settle Jr. Houston Texans keeping themselves a lot of defensive linemen. Linebackers, Azeez Al-Shaair, Jake Hansen, kind of a surprise, I'm not going to lie to you guys. Henry TuoTuo, EJ Speed, Christian Harris, and Jamal Hill. Jamal Hill, ladies and gentlemen, is still a project, and I think he is going to be something for this Houston Texans team in the next 2 to 3 years. The former safety converted to linebacker out of Oregon. Your defensive backs, Kalen Bullock, Kamari Lassiter, Jalen Petrie, Tremon Smith, C.J. Gardner-Johnson initially started on the 53-man roster is a great sign. Derek Stingley Jr., M.J. Stewart, Jalen Smith. D'Angelo Ross did not make the team. Tesla, unfortunately, ended his time as a Houston Texan. Your special teams, punter Tommy Townsend, kicker Kaimi Fairbairn, and long snapper number 40 for the first time in a long time, Austin Brinkman, not John Wicks. This is your defense for the Houston Texans. There's still some moves that are going to be made. I don't think this is going to be, the roster that's going to be ready for week 1 against the Los Angeles Rams, but we will see nonetheless. I do expect the tight end to be thrown in there somewhere. With that being said, guys, we are getting closer and closer to week 1. And today was just another step in that direction with all teams getting to 32. For more Houston Texans content, you guys know what to do. Feel free and follow me for more. Go Houston. Have a very blessed day.